Hey everyone, welcome to the Loved at Launch app review series. Today is episode number 22, and taking a look today at Apple's app of the day, which is Poshmark. So this is a way to buy and sell used fashion. I have actually used this service a few times on my own, and it works very well. So I'm excited to check out their app here. So I can see this walkthrough guide, but at the bottom it has a way for me to skip that and go ahead and just get started. So let's see if I do that. Okay, it takes me to the end of the guide. And now I basically am asked to sign up for an account, which I can see in the top right. See, it's so faint, but there's an X. And those are my favorite things to see because it's going to let me skip this process and sign in as a guest. And I really wish that they just put that as an option um, because it's going to allow more people to experience the app and sign up for accounts later. So they're asking for um, a notification now, and I'm not going to give that right now. So let's continue here. It says Wardrobe Obsessions Party is happening now. I don't know what that means. Um, so, so let's go ahead and join now. I mean, they're distracting my attention. This is where they're diverting my attention into this Wardrobe Obsessions Party. And so now this is going to be the first thing I see. And I don't know what this is. I mean, it's all women's clothes, which is certainly not relevant for me. So I think this is a mistake to divert me away to that. But anyway, we're now back on the main page. So the first thing I see on the page is people, and not really sure why I want to see people because this is an app about buying and selling clothes. And I get that those are bought and sold by people, but not really the predominant thing I'm coming in here to look for. Now the next one, brands, is more interesting to me. So I can scroll left and right here. Let's just go ahead and select Nike. And now we get dropped in, and we can see all of the used gear from people who have Nike up for sale. So let's say we're scrolling through this, and it's kind of like a Pinteresty style cards scrolling system. Let's say, sure, these just basic basketball shoes here, so I can see who's selling them. Up at the top right, I can see how many likes or comments these have, and I can see the price. Down at the bottom, have more details about it, including the size. I feel like that would be really important, though, probably to surface towards the top, right? Because obviously these are shoes, and if they don't fit, then they are worthless to me. So anyway, so basic stuff down here, and then at the bottom I can see the offer or pay. So what if I click offer? So now it wants me to create an account. This is the right time. This is a good time for, I've shown some buy-in. I've now selected a product that I like, and it would make sense for me to have to. So I'm curious also if Apple Pay, yep, that would also require me to do an account. So that's correct. That's exactly how I'd want to see it. So going back to the main page now, likes. So there's an empty state here. I don't have any likes as being a new visitor. So it says I can like items to save them for later. So, and it says shop now. So if I click on it, okay, I'm going to go to men's and go to pants, whatever. Could use a new pair of sweatpants because I might have a hole in them. But cool. So let's say I wanted to go into these. I don't really like those, but let's pretend I did, and I click the star. Once again, now that's the right time to get me to sign up for an account. So they have it right for the most part. And they did allow me to skip the account in the first place, so I do like that. So then now I see this other section here, parties, and I can see the one that was active. So I get the concept of parties, but I definitely don't think it's what they should have diverted me into, because even when I go into this, almost all the parties are for females, and I don't doubt that that is the bigger portion of their user base, but it's not all of them, and it wasn't, there was no smart way to sort that in the beginning, so they sent me in directly in there. Cool, so a lot of options down here. I'm curious to see, I like that it drops me into the shop page, or did it? I think it dropped me into the shop page, but the feed page looks pretty similar. I'm curious, I don't know exactly why the top search bar is any different. Um, it seems kind of weird to me that they're not the same. Also, this X on the top right is really hard to hit. They probably want it that way, but okay. So feed, I can see a use for that, but I don't need it right now. So if I was going to sell an item, it would also ask me to, um, you know, create an account to actually take a picture of that item. I can see that it's going to be a picture from the camera icon on the bottom tab, which is nice. Now, what I will say is I'd be curious to see a test on which point they would benefit most from requiring the account. For instance, is it best when I click the sell button to go ahead and open the camera, let them snap the photo, and then fill out all the details and then ask for an account at the end? Would that lead to more conversions, or is the account wall right when you click the setup button or the sell button better? I'm not sure. I'd be really curious to see that from a stats perspective. But cool. And then news, I can see it in here. Settings, I don't have any settings. So overall, really good. I think that they, what I liked is that they did allow you to skip the accounts and kind of dropped you, um, you know, suggested that you create an account at the right times. That said, what I didn't like is they diverted me directly away from the main content of the app into one of their parties, which had no relevance for me. And if I wasn't so interested in kind of continuing looking through the app, it would have been very easy for me to bail at that point. I also think that there's probably too many things in here, and it might benefit from a way to get me to give my preferences sooner. A vast majority of the things in this app are not going to be suitable for me, whether it's because they're not the right size, or not the right gender, or age group, or brand, or anything like that. So creating a template, maybe under the settings, I think would be a really good way for me to get buy-in into the app and remain a loyal user for longer. So anyway, it is a really cool service. I do highly recommend you checking them out, and it was fun reviewing their app. So I'll see you again tomorrow for episode number 23.